You're watching FIFA Predicts, predicting the big games in the football world via the medium of FIFA 20 computer versus computer, and it's the Manchester derby. Former professional footballer turned current pundit Ian Five Ankles is here with me to dissect the action. Both managers in a spot of trouble. Man City already now concentrating on the Champions League. Man United partying like it's 1999. Well, at least they will when they hit 40 points. What are the managers going to do to shake it up?
Well, one idea they've mooted to shake things up is that they will handle each other's team talks.
Right.
I think Pep will go into the United dressing room and say something along the lines of, have belief, press hard, try and get a billionaire owner, and Ollie will say, wow, I've never been in the presence of so many talented footballers before.
1999, surely they were talented footballers there, maybe even more than this Man City side.
No, that team included Ronnie Johnson, David May, Jesper Blomqvist, so I'd beg to differ.
Any inferiority complex Man United may have had before the game had been put to bed with some tiki-taka outside the area before Mata unleashed a shot that exploded like a tub of yoghurt 8 months past its sell-by date. Tiki-taka, Ian, is it overused as a phrase? It just means passing.
It does, it just means passing, yes. It originated from the time when Sam Allardyce was still managing in the Premier League, when some of his team's tactics were as sophisticated as loading a horse onto a medieval catapult and chucking it into the enemy's castle.
Sam Allardyce, would he have been more successful as a manager, managed bigger teams, if he'd changed his name to something foreign? Samuel Allardyce, perhaps?
I think if he'd changed his name, if he'd changed his nationality, if he'd had a personality transplant, and if he'd had a complete overhaul of how he approached football, then yes, I think there's every chance he would have been very successful. Man
City was stirred into wakening by that alarm clock of a goal, but they were still fumbling with their dressing gown and trying to find a clean cat bowl while half asleep, when up from the toaster popped an absolute piece of toast of a goal. What a free kick from Kevin De Bruyne. Interesting pose before the free kick. He's got his hands on his waist, but they're not touching his waist.
Well, he's lost a lot of weight, Anthony, and I think that message hasn't got through to his hands, so they're resting where his hips used to be.
Speaking of change, look at the celebration after that. John Stones ravaged by time. He's aged about 15 years in the space of about half a minute.
It's quite upsetting to see. I think that's a result of playing in a back four that involves Fernandinho. It's very sad.
Both sides looked as if they wanted to get back into the warm half-time snuggles of their managers' armpits, but Anthony Martial provided one last bit of magic, slicing through John Stones and Fernandinho like a hot knife through butter. Although butter offers a bit more resistance, and Pep might think about getting some butter for that January transfer window. He cleverly angled the ball off the keeper's head and into the goal. Was that deliberate?
I think it was deliberate, yes. If Ederson has a weakness, it's the back of his head. And I know for a fact that Martial has been practising that exact scoring manoeuvre.
Hitting the ball off the back of someone's head? Wow.
Yes. Although at Carrington, obviously, he has Harry Maguire and Phil Jones to work with, so there's much more head to aim for. But yes, that absolutely was deliberate.
The turning point was the red card. Mata clattered through his opponent like Bambi on that ill-fated skiing trip.
Mata clatter.
Terrible tackle, but great content for his blog. And was that the intention?
It might have been, yes. I know he's been struggling of late for content and he loves his blog. So although it was absolutely disastrous for his team on the field, it did make for some very compelling blog content.
And it's a perfect piece of writing.
It's a lovely piece of writing. If you're reading ages 7 or over, I strongly recommend you check it out.
And it wasn't long before City made their numerical advantage pay. Mendy stopped posting on Instagram long enough to exchange passes with Sterling, who unleashed Silva down the right, and he put the ball into the box for an exquisitely delicate finish from Jesus. Then Kevin De Bruyne put the hosts in front. Kevin De Bruyne.
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 Kevin of the Bruyne.
Man City tucked this game up, gave it a mug of hot chocolate, kissed it on the forehead and said good night, sweet prince.
They put this game to bed.
That's what I said, Ian. That's what I'm saying. I'm alluding to it.
No, well, you rack it up and I'll slap it home.
Interesting celebration with Jesus. He rings someone. Who's he ringing?
Well, you can see from the footage he's phoning Fernandinho, who's standing just behind him.
Why are they talking on the phone?
Well, I think they've scored so many goals, they've run out of unique celebrations, so they're just having a phone chat, trying to work out, what do we do now?
Then Raheem Sterling comes in on a conference call. That's got to mess things up a bit.
Well, it did, because there was a delay on the line he was calling in from, so they ended up just abandoning the conference call and just having a bit of an awkward hug.
When you score so many goals, you do recycle celebrations, and that is a problem. I mean, every time I see Antoine Griezmann score, I think to myself, oh my goodness, what's he going to do to embarrass himself this time? Then another goal. What's happened to Man United here, Ian? I mean, their downfall is hilarious, but it's kind of, you're being beaten over the head with it by this point, and there's only so many times you can laugh before you've got a sore head.
Yeah, I mean, it is funny, but it's a case of ha-ha, ouch at the moment, I think. If there is a ray of light for United, it's that being on the second page of the Premier League table, they don't have to look at where Liverpool are.
So there we have it, 5-2 it finished. Now competition competition time. Predict the score of the real game in the comments section below. Get it right and you'll win this pair of Man United sunglasses, blurred at the top so you don't have to see where Liverpool are in the table. And congratulations to last week's winners. Your winners are these winners. See you next time on FIFA Predicts. Bye.
Bye.